To all you Aries people, welcome for your monthly horoscope for Aries for May 2015. What is going to happen for you? Well, it's a month that is not that, in general, is not that challenging for you. A lot of you Aries people have had a lot of transformations going on and standing up for your own individuality throughout the years now with the Pluto-Uranus square. But now there is a shift going towards another aspect that is more challenging for the mutable signs. And you're not a mutable sign. Mutable signs are Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces and Virgo. So they're having their bit of a challenge there now. But of course, what's going on now has an impact on some areas of your life as well, but those areas are not that important. It's not about big time decision and so on. Again, these are general horoscopes, okay? So of course for some people there will be going on very important stuff, but let's have a look. I'm going to be talking about the Neptune-Saturn square, Mercury retrograde, your ruler Mars, and of course also the new moon happening on a fixed star which is called Caput Algol, and this is quite significant as well. But let's get started with your ruler Mars, which will be for most of the month. It will be in Gemini most of the month, and so together with a lot of other planets there. So there's a lot of energy focusing on Gemini, and that is for you your third house. So the third house is all about communication. It's all about learning. It's all about your siblings, your environment, and there's a huge emphasis. Now your ruler Mars is also there. And your ruler is going to make some very important aspects with the Saturn-Neptune square. Now what is this all about, Saturn-Neptune square? Saturn-Neptune in a nutshell, Saturn is reality and Neptune is idealism. So whenever they clash, and they do clash now, it means that people will be discontent. Now, of course, we all have areas in our life where we are discontent, but it means that the more you expect, the more discontent you can become. So you need to be realistic, and that has to do with the Saturn. The Saturn wants to be realistic, but the Neptune wants to be very idealistic and wants to believe things that are not even there. Now, so we are all feeling this energy. But what does it mean for you? Again, this is happening in your communication houses. So therefore, it's not so challenging. It's not in key areas of life. So you're having all this mercurial energy, Mercury going retrograde as well, in your third house of communication, of your thinking processes. And also Mars, your ruler, and it's bumping into Saturn, which is in your ninth house of Saturn is in your ninth house of communication, of your philosophy, and that it's also triggered by Neptune, which is in your 12th house in Pisces. That is a really hidden house. So what is going on here? It's a lot about spirituality, I think. Whenever I see connections between these houses, it's almost saying, okay, you can be spiritual, you can feel that you are connected, but stay with the feet on the ground, please. Let it have a very practical and real impact on your life. It's good to read about a philosophy, a theory. It's all good and in a perfect state, but we need to have practical applying ourselves to this, being able to do that. And this is what an Aries wants, basically. It wants to be honest, it wants to be true, it wants to do. So expect this month that you will feel that going forwards in your life, and particularly going forwards when it comes to your communication, when it comes to travel, when it comes to learning new things, it won't go as fast as you want. If you are aware of that, you already feel that you are hopefully getting a bit more relaxed about it. Because if you're going to be wanting to push too much, it's going to work against you rather than with you. So it's a bit, it could be a bit of a frustration month in a sense if you want things to go too fast. Again, when it comes to learning something, travel will slow down. If you know that you are going to travel, take along some business or books or whatever, so you be keeping busy, because there is some delays. There is things are slowing down when it comes to that. Your ruler Mars will oppose Saturn. It's one of the hardest aspects, but again, it's in not a difficult house. So I think it will just be a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, that you will feel that you want to push, but it's not going to happen. Just be okay with it, because it doesn't mean to say it's never going to happen. It's just not the timing, not the correct timing. I know that's a bit difficult for Aries. I have my moon in Aries, so I'm also a very impatient person, if you didn't know yet. But I know, and I have experienced the Aries energy. It wants to go forwards, it wants to act, and but now it says, okay, you can act, but slow down a little bit. Think about it first before you act, you know, the impulses of the Aries person. And I think it's not going to be the most difficult month of the year. But if you consider that, don't act too quickly, take your time. And if you want major changes to make, do it after the Mercury retrograde if you can, of course, which is after the 11th of June. And also know that there is a reason why you feel you are stopped or blocked or in your action. There's a reason. Maybe you don't have 100% skill yet, or maybe it's just not the perfect time yet. The puzzle is not completed. There are still things that are missed that we have to wait for before they happen, and then we can go. It's not to annoy you. It's just because everything has its perfect timing. If you are aware of that, you Aries people, you can do a lot the upcoming months, actually. So, and another thing that is going on is the Caput Algol energy. So that is in your second house of self-worth. If you feel that around the 18th, so it's just a couple of days, around the 18th, you feel like you're not worth anything, you feel like you want to lose it, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose your self-confidence, it's only for a few days. It's not a big deal. It's the moon and the sun coming together, which are forming a new moon when it comes to 26 degrees of Taurus. That's your second house. So watch out in spending. Don't spend too much money around those days if you can, because it can make you crazy, that energy, and overspend. So forewarned is forearmed, or how do they say that? That's just a little thing, but it's quite heavy energy. So it's something to take care about. Again, because you are quite an impulsive sign, unless you have like other planets in fixed signs, like in Taurus or something. That is quite often the case with Aries people. They often have Venus in Taurus or Mercury in Taurus. But normally Aries is very fast sign, so that will be your challenge. Don't be that fast throughout the month of May, and then you'll be fine. Thank you so much, you Aries people, for supporting me, for ordering readings and all of that, and thank you for listening, and see you next month. Bye bye.